What's going on, MSFers? Stoolem here, and today we're going to be going over the weekly blog for September 12th, 2025. We also have an extra blog from the Secret Warriors refund, and I kind of mentioned this in a previous video that there were ideas floating around in the Envoy server that we could not talk about yet. This is actually the idea that I was kind of hinting at, but was not able to talk about it. So over the weekend, a refund of materials was sent to players who upgraded their Secret Warriors characters 14 days prior to the announcement of the Banshee's Fury milestone, which rewards tokens for the reworked members of the Secret Warriors team. Also, the envoys are the reason for this. We asked for this. The second we read the blog and saw there were tokens, we were like, yo, we're going to need some refunds because this does not feel good. So yeah, thank your local envoy. The refund that was given for taking characters from level 1 to 105, which is the problem that I saw and noticed what was happening, instead of just 1 to 95, which is what the token is going to be good for. We will be sending all players who were not a part of this refund the following 14-day calendar to make up for the difference, going live on Saturday, which is going to be tomorrow. Absolutely amazing. We'll be following up separately for players who were refunded but didn't receive the same total value as the players who were refunded up to level 105. A 14-day calendar of 65 million gold. And I don't know about you, but like, that's not bad, right? That's going to be, what, 50% of my gold is going to be added to my account, a little more than 50%. So that's pretty awesome. I think this is absolutely amazing for mid-game players who are really hurting for gold. This is like 1.5 characters worth up to 105. So I think that's pretty awesome. I think that's a pretty good and fair way to compensate everybody. I just hope they're able to make sure that anybody who was compensated from level 1 to 105, like that screenshot that was going around for 132 million gold, they also do not get access to this calendar, so it's not kind of making the problem worse. So hopefully that's the case, but I will definitely let you guys know if something like that happens. Now for the weekly blog, that's right, the invasion begins. Look at Blastaar, he looks awesome. If only he was that great in game. But he's not, but that's okay. Maybe he's going to get better. Maybe the test server was very wrong at 7-7, and he's going to be an absolute animal at 5-5 when we get him up here. So hopefully, maybe, I'm crossing my fingers and my toesies, but let's get into it. So here's your battle plan for September 13th through September 19th. On September 15th at 2 p.m., that's going to be Monday, we have Sebastian Shaw Strike Pass. Absolutely awesome. I really like how they're adding kind of value to these Strike Passes by releasing a Strike Pass with the newest character even before their free-to-play release. So I don't know if that's making people want to buy these Strike Passes more. I know I have not changed my stance on Strike Passes. Strike Passes mainly were used for a lot of resources, and Battle Passes were used for a lot of resources when it came to gold, training materials, stuff like that. But I don't need a lot of that right now. Like for training materials, I don't need training materials. So this doesn't really entice me other than just like the character shards in it. But let me know what you guys think. If the character shards are enough to make you want to start buying them again, let me know. I'm curious. Broken King, week 7. Raid Warzone, Blastaar Scourge begins. I'm super excited for this. Captain Britain Web Free Claim as well. I guess they had like a hiccup and they had a little road bump and it was going to start, and now it's actually starting. I don't know. I guess it's going to be starting on the 15th, which is going to be what, Monday, right? Yeah, Monday. Awesome. So that's fantastic. We got Scorpion added to the Antimatter store on Tuesday. If you like war, awesome. If you don't, this means nothing for you. I don't really care that Scorpion's being added to the Antimatter store. I'm going to be more excited for when Hobgoblin and Superior Spider-Man are added, so I can start working on them. We're also going to talk about Antimatter and what I've been spending it on, because a lot of people have been asking me behind the scenes. So character shards in event, Blastaar 200 total shards in month 2. Awesome. Phantom Rider Battle Pass, that is continuing. Amazing. Rachel Summers 25 shards in Alliance Warzone, which is what we've been doing. Captain Britain 50 shards from the free web claims. I wish they still talked about, like, if Zombie Juggernaut is getting replaced, if Black Knight is getting replaced, what's the process on those, where are they going to be farmable, what's happening with that. We also have 50 shards from the Broken King week 7 for Sebastian Shaw. Amazing. So 50 shards here for presumably for free, and then we're also getting the Strike Pass. So the free-to-play pass should be giving us enough plus the 50 here to get Sebastian Shaw unlocked. probably this weekish. That's pretty cool. Maybe we'll even have him in time for the Blastaar Scourge. That'd be even cooler. Awesome. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. The Broken King earned 200 Blastaar shards. Month 2 of the Broken King continues, where you can earn 200 Blastaar shards. Broken King, week 7, go on a training spree with your roster after earning tons of training materials during week 7. So just spend campaign energy, use Blastaar, and play raids with Hellfire Club. Man, the use Blastaar one, I hope that's not in Crucible, because I really don't want to throw a Crucible just to use Blastaar, like people were doing for Ultimate 32 when you had to use Immortal X-Men for the Alliance event. I hope that's not the case. I hope we could just use him in like a Blitz and move on, which is really sad to say about a legendary character who's plug and play in Crucible, that I want to find ways around not using him in Crucible, and that's pretty damn sad, if you ask me. That's really, really sad. All right, so Blitz with Hobgoblin is going to be a premium award. We also have Sebastian Shaw shards, which we talked about up above, and the Who Is Goblin, the Hobgoblin meta item. And so play Warzone. We'll earn 25 Rachel Summer shards. So this is going to be the same thing we have been doing for quite a while here. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy nonetheless. The Invasion event, Blastaar. Earn Blastaar, red stars, and yellow stars. So I saw a lot of feedback on my video yesterday when I talked about how this was kind of a turning point. This was going to be an impasse. This was going to be something that was going to be very interesting for Scopely regarding this event being hard. And I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, I don't want hard. I don't need hard content. I don't want to beat my head into a wall and fight RNG." Guess what? You don't have to. And that's a pretty awesome part about this event, because you're still going to get 7 yellow on Blastaar, completely free to play, engaged, everything. And I don't know this, right? Because they haven't told us. But my presumption is when they run the second invasion event for Blastaar, the red stars are going to be more accessible than just getting top 250. And then the third time they run it, they're going to be even more accessible. And even more accessible than Quasar's red stars were, because they have openly and honestly said that they wanted more people to get Quasar red stars. So my understanding, in my presumption of this, is if you don't want to push for this, just fine. If you don't want to push for the second one, just fine. You might have to push for the third one to actually get some, rewards, some red stars, and it might be like milestones and stuff like that. But guess what? You're still going to get a 7 yellow Blastaar absolutely for free, and you don't have to push for this. So it's the best of both worlds. If you want to push for this, you can. If you don't have to. And you don't even have to worry about it. But the people that want to push can have fun pushing for it. And I think that's great. Agency, choice. People can choose what they want to do. I think that is absolutely awesome. So make sure you check out that video regarding the rundown of all the details, also including all the mods and stuff like that. It was great. It was great. It was great. And then we got yellow stars among the leaderboards. We got updated mission structure, more trait choices. So we are going to be able to use Blastaar and Quasar as well. And as I talked about in my video yesterday, I did take Blastaar and Quasar up to gear 19. Well, Quasar was already there, but I took Blastaar up to gear 19. I might even be taking Quasar and Blastaar up to gear tier 20 if I really want to push this event. And I'm noticing that I need a little bit of extra firepower, but that is yet to be seen. I will let you guys know. I do plan on having a full guide on this event as well, because it does start next Monday, literally on Monday, which is amazing. So I do plan on having a event guide for you on that. So we got global milestone event, multiversal blast. Rack up more antimatter as you battle through invasion event Blastaar. September 15th at 2 p.m. Earn multiversal blast points from invasion event Blastaar. So obviously getting participating in the Blastaar event, we're going to get a global milestone, which is great. I've liked these. I think this is just more bonus stuff. I think it's pretty cool to see how far the community can really get. I think it's awesome. Works for me. We got Pumpkin Rain, earn Hobgoblin diamonds. Yeah, he's coming out today, and we're also getting diamonds literally real soon. Now, the start date says August 28th here. Definitely not correct. I'm presuming this is going to be on Monday as well, the 15th. But what's very interesting about this is it's only 3 days, which is fascinating, because this is the first time they've ever done a diamond leaderboard this short. They've been experimenting with 14-day, 11-day, 10-day, and now they're trying a 3-day leaderboard. So I'm curious to see people's feedback on this. Let me know down in the comment section, because I want to share that with the developers. They're clearly trying new things to see what the sweet spot is and what people resonate with the most and spend with the most, right? Because this is obviously, they need to make money. So let me know how you feel about the 3-day leaderboard, because I'm genuinely curious. So we're going to be earning 1 Abyssal Core Orb Fragment from Campaign, earn 1 Scorpion Diamond Orb Fragment, Battle and Cosmic Crucible, Battle and Raid, play Blitz with Hobgoblin, play Blitz with Hobgoblin 5, 6, and 7, play Blitz with Hobgoblin at gear tier 20. So I might end up pushing for this actually, because I do have a lot of campaign energy. I'm sitting at 12,000 right now, and I know a lot of people blew their campaign energy for the Null event that was going on. I believe campaign energy was spent for this, right? Oh no, power cores was spent for this. The campaign energy was going to be the Shaw diamonds, wasn't it? For like mutant gear and stuff. So I know a lot of people are low on energy, so I might end up pushing this kind of depending on what I see. Because Mystic gear is always great to have, especially if I can get really high in the leaderboards. And then diamonds for Hobgoblin would be kind of cool. Granted, I wouldn't get to really use them for a while, but hey, maybe I'll end up pushing for this. Who knows? Maybe I'll keep hoarding. Then we got Twitch drops as well. Make sure you guys are checking me out on Twitch. I do stream on the weekends. I do Cosmic Crucible, all the good stuff. And all you gotta do is watch for an hour. You get 2 million gold. 2 hours, 10,000 Antimatter. 3 hours, 10 Hobgoblin shards. Pretty straightforward. Free stuff is free stuff. Then we've also got the Friday free claim, 200 Throne of Shadows milestone points, which is for the Null event. And then we've got Sebastian Shaw character shards, 5 of them. So pretty light blog, but some very important stuff, since there was a blog on Wednesday regarding the Blastaar Red Star event. Now, I wanted to talk about the Antimatter store, because I'm sitting on 260,000 Antimatter almost, and I really have had a lot for a while, and kind of what I'm doing with the Antimatter store is pretty set in stone now. So I've pretty much come to the conclusion that there's no reason to get any of the character shards that are currently available in here, because they're just raid characters. And if they can get through the raids, I'm happy. I'm getting value out of Azazel and Crucible already, because he's been good at taking out things like Night Stalkers, and he's been able to take out a little bit extra characters because he's got that turn meter rewind turn 1. So like he's been doing better against Phoenix Force. Rachel Summers, I think, is kind of a flop, if I'm being honest with you, unless we're just been continually using her wrong, but she's been kind of meh. But she does add some more controlling to the battlefield, which is great, so nothing wrong with that. But I have no use to get Accursed, because again, Accursed is almost maxed out already. And when it comes to Fantastic Four, they're about to be farmable. So what is the point of really going hard on this? I already did Franklin to 6, and I got Mr. Fantastic MCU to 5, Invisible Woman MCU to 5. After Accursed, they're the next team to become farmable. And right now, I don't have any issues in Arena where I'm like, wow, if I had a bigger Invisible Woman, I'd be able to beat this team. Or if I had a bigger Mr. Fantastic, this would change everything. I don't have that problem. So if I'm not really solving an issue, there's no reason to spend this currency on character shards, right? I might end up doing it for Superior Spider-Man to get him up maybe another star real quick. But I don't know about that. Honestly, I don't know. It depends how useful he is in Crucible. I got to base it on the usefulness, and then that kind of 2-week period until they get to the Antimatter store is almost like a testing phase, as are they worth it, and do they need the stats from extra stars that will really benefit, right? So that brings us to Gear Tier 20, right? So Gear Tier 20 right now, all I'm doing is staying above 150 of every single Gear Tier 20 piece. So right now I have 154 of one of the skill pieces and 163 of the mystic pieces. Now, since I know I might be taking Quasar up to Gear Tier 20, I am going to start buying some of these mystic pieces to help me out a little bit. I know right now there's no skill characters coming, so I'm perfectly fine on skill. But the second they announce the next team, right, I'm going to start overbuying for skill, or overbuying for mutant, or overbuying for bio, whatever comes next, right? So right now I'm going to be buying mystic gear, and I'll even refresh as well, and I'm going to start buying bio gear as well. And you see, I've been going a little bit harder on tech gear as well. And look, more mystic gear. Awesome. And I've been going a little bit harder on tech gear as well, because I know I'm going to be taking Superior Spider-Man to Gear Tier 20, right? So I want to make sure I'm prepping for this by having now 191 of that tech gear, so that I know I'm going to be using 75 of that on Superior Spider-Man. So now we can look at like my skill gear here, And my skill gear, I have 161 and 154. And then let's keep scrolling. I can look at my tech gear now. My tech gear is at 196 and 191. So I have 50 over what my minimum is. So once I take Superior Spider-Man up, I'm going to be dropping 75 here. Then I need what? Like another like 20, 30 of each, and I'll be back to my normal status quo to make sure I have enough. Let's go Gladiator. We got Bio Gear, right? Oh, no, that's not a Gear Tier 20 piece. That is, though. So Bio Gear, I'm at 162 and 167. I could start buying some Bio Gear because I might be taking Blastaar up to Gear Tier 20. But again, I'm not sure just yet. But I could start preparing for that. But even if I don't prepare for it, I'm already prepared for it. So even if I do need to take up Blastaar up as an emergency, I have that reserve sitting there because I have 2 baseline characters worth to take up, which is 150 pieces because it's 75 for each character, other than like mythics and stuff like that. And like Shadow King is an outlier, right? Now for Mutant Gear, I am running a little bit low because I did take Storm up. So Mutant Gear I have been buying. I did take Storm up because I think she's going to be good long term. Plus her ult is really, really great. So I did take up Storm. And especially with Rachel Summers being added, I think Storm is going to be meta for quite a while. So I did end up taking her up. So we do have a little bit low on Mutant Gear, but that's going to be something I continually buy as well to get back up to that status quo of 150 pieces. And I'm not planning on taking up Azazel, Emma, Rachel Summers, Sebastian Shaw, or Azazel. So I really don't need Mutant Gear right now. And they usually don't come out with the same origin back to back or very close together. It's very rare that they do that. So I'm not too worried about it. And then Mystic Gear we did see already, but I can show you on Mordo. And then Mystic Gear I have a 164 out of and 173. So I have over 2 characters worth. Again, I can start buying these a little bit and start working towards that. Now, I am being very picky with my Gear Tier 20, and that I could do an entire video on that if you guys want me to, on who I'm taking to Gear Tier 20, because I know everybody's list is different, and mine is very, very short, honestly, but I could definitely talk about it and talk about why I think that's the best approach to it and why I've been doing it that way for a very long time for every Gear Tier. But hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments section. Until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.